A devoted Brahmana follows him at a distance, longing to stay in his association.
My dear Kurma, please return home. Remain there and always chant the holy names of the Lord. By doing so, you will attain all perfection.
Kurma, though reluctant, bows down and obeys the Lord's command, returning to his home with a heart full of devotion. Meanwhile, another devoted Brahmana named Vasudeva resides in Kurma Kshetra too. Despite his great devotion, he suffers from severe leprosy, his body covered in sores and even worms. Being an enlightened soul, as soon as a worm fell from his body, Vasudeva would pick it up and put it back in the very same location. One night, Vasudeva hears the glorious news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has arrived at Kurmakshetra.
Ah, the Lord himself is here. I must see him. My life will be fulfilled.
The next morning, with great excitement, Vasudeva rushes to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Kurma's house, only to learn that the Lord has already departed.
No, I have missed him. My only chance.
Overcome with sorrow, he collapses to the ground, unconscious. At that moment, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, having departed, suddenly stops in his journey, sensing the deep anguish of his devotee.
Vasudeva, my dear devotee is in great distress. I must return to him.
The Lord swiftly makes his way back to Kurmakshetra. As he reaches the spot where Vasudeva lies unconscious, he bends down and embraces him. Vasudeva, feeling the divine touch, awakens. Instantly his leprosy vanishes. His body, once covered in wounds, now radiates a divine beauty.
Who am I, a sinful, fallen Brahmabandhu, and yet Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of all opulences, embraces me with his two arms.
By honoring every soul, no matter what, no matter their suffering, we honor the divine presence within them.
By the devoted king Prataparudra. Despite being a powerful ruler, his heart is filled with deep longing to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. However, the Lord, being a renunciant, refuses to meet a king, considering association with worldly rulers as unfavorable to a sannyasi's spiritual life. The king, hearing of this, feels disheartened but remains determined. He seeks the help of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
O wise Bhattacharya, my heart burns with longing to see the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yet he refuses to meet me because I am a king. What should I do?
O king, the Lord may not meet you in your royal attire, but he is merciful to those who approach with humility. On Rath Yatra day, the Lord will dance before Lord Jagannatha, then rest in the Gundicha garden. Go there without your royal dress, hold his lotus feet, and recite the 5 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam describing Krishna's pastimes. The Lord has already changed his mind due to Ramananda Raya's descriptions of your pure love.
King Prataparudra made a firm decision to follow Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's advice. The Grand Ratha Yatra begins. Lord Jagannatha is seated on his majestic chariot, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dances before him in divine ecstasy, surrounded by his devotees. King Prataparudra, disguised as a simple devotee, waits for the perfect moment. When the Lord, exhausted from dancing, rests in a garden, Prataparudra approaches.
Who is this, singing with such devotion and sweetness?
The king continues reciting, his voice choked with emotion.
You are truly a great devotee. Whoever has given me this nectar must be very dear to Krishna.
My Lord, I am the most obedient servant of your servants. Please accept me as your servant of your servants.
With tears in his eyes, King Prataparudra falls at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. The Lord lifts him up and blesses him.
Lies in humility. King Prataparudra won Mahaprabhu's heart, not with power but with devotion. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaches that respect is not about title or wealth, but about a heart that boasts in devotion. Hare Krishna.
Kesava Kashmiri, known as Digvijaya for having defeated scholars in all directions, arrived in Navadvip. The local scholars decided to let Nimai Pandit debate with this great Digvijaya. When Keshav Kashmiri arrived, Lord Chaitanya received him with great respect.
I understand that you are a teacher of beginner's grammar, known as Nimai Pandita. People speak highly of your ability and say that your students are quite skilled in the word jugglery of this grammar. Yes, I'm known as a teacher of grammar, but factually, I cannot explain the subject very well. You, however, are a highly learned scholar and poet. As a neophyte student, I would love to hear your great skill in composing poetry. If you would mercifully describe the glories of Mother Ganga, we shall have the opportunity to witness your literary prowess.
Pleased by Lord Chaitanya's flattery, Keshav Kashmiri, slightly puffed up with pride, composed 100 verses glorifying Mother Ganga within an hour.
My dear sir, there is no greater poet than you in the entire universe. However, kindly explain the meaning of one particular verse. We would be delighted to hear from you.
When Digvijay inquired which verse, Lord Chaitanya recited it perfectly. Hearing this, Keshav Kashmiri was astonished.
How could he memorize my verse when I recited all 100 just like a blowing wind? By the grace of the Lord, someone may become a great poet, and similarly by his grace, someone may become a Shrutidara, one who can immediately memorize anything.
Satisfied with this reply, Keshav Kashmiri explained the verse as requested.
Now, kindly describe the good qualities and any faults in this verse. Faults? There is not even a tinge of imperfection in this verse. You are just an ordinary student of grammar. How do you think you know all about literary ornaments and composition? Dear sir, please do not be angry, but since I have heard about such matters from learned scholars, I can review this verse and find both its merits and flaws.
Very well. Let me hear what qualities and faults you have found in my verse.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu carefully delineated the faults and good qualities, explaining them one after another. After hearing Nimai Pandit's detailed explanation, the champion poet was wonderstruck. He thought to himself,
Such an extraordinary explanation is beyond human capability. Surely, Mother Saraswati herself has spoken through his mouth.
My dear sir, I have no real understanding of what makes poetry great. Please know that whatever I said was actually spoken by Mother Saraswati. Do not take my childish impudence seriously. Please return home now, and tomorrow we shall meet again, so I may hear your discourses on Shastra.
From this we understand that knowledge shines brightest when paired with humility. Keshav Kashmiri's pride was humbled by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's wisdom. True learning is not about defeating others, but about realizing the divine source of all knowledge. Hare Krishna.
In the sacred dance of Jagannath Puri, amidst the spiritual vibrations of Sankirtana, the great devotee Haridas Thakur approaching his final days. Though his body weakens, his devotion remains unwavering. Haridas Thakur sits humbly, chanting the holy names as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrives with his devotees.
My dear Haridasa, are you well? My lord, my body is all right, but my mind and intelligence are not well.
Can you ascertain what your disease is?
My disease is that I cannot complete my prescribed number of rounds.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding Haridas's condition, speaks with deep compassion.
You are already liberated. You have fulfilled your mission of spreading the holy name.
My lord, I was born in a low family, yet you have accepted me. Before I leave, I wish to place your lotus feet on my heart and see your moonlight face as I chant.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, moved by Haridas's devotion, grants his wish.
My dear Lord, please kindly describe the transcendental qualities of Haridas Thakur.
In front of all his leading associates, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began describing the transcendental qualities of Haridas Thakur. As he did so, it appeared as if he possessed 5 mouths. The Lord and his devotees then began a Sankirtana performance, chanting the holy name with great ecstasy.
We understand the Lord does not see cause or birth. He sees devotion. Haridas Thakur, though born in a low family, was honored as the greatest devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed that the highest respect is reserved for those who surrender wholeheartedly to the holy name. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Gora!